It's official. The Alien franchise finally has a good third movie. Hello everyone and welcome back to the Dragon's Library. Since it's October, I've decided to focus on reviews that fit the season a bit more. And today, I will be reviewing Alien Romulus. Now, to start off with, I know this came out a while ago, but I still want to talk about it now because Halloween. And I'm just going to say the obvious thing most of you are thinking. Ugh, another Alien movie? Seriously? Which, that's fair. The Alien franchise is one of those 80s movie series that had an excellent first movie, which was tense and scary, and then got a sequel which drastically changed the tone while retaining its high quality. Similar to the Terminator movies, actually these have a lot of commonalities. However, much like the Terminator franchise, every sequel and spin-off since has been, at best, okay, and at worst, utter garbage. As a result, I need you to actually listen to me when I say that this is easily the third best Alien movie, and not take that as an insult. I know that isn't a high bar, but Alien Romulus finally returns to the series' roots, keeping the best parts of Alien and Aliens, which I'm referring to as Alien 1 and 2 because I don't want to have to keep emphasizing the S. However, I know you're going to be skeptical of this claim, so turn off the lights, lean back in that cryotube, and let's get started with a brief summary of the plot. So the movie takes place between Alien 1 and 2, and starts with Weyland-Yutani recovering the body of the xenomorph from the first movie. We then move ahead 5 months and switch focus to a character called Rain, a mining colony worker played by Kaylee Spaney, and her robotic brother Andy, who was an android that Rain's father repurposed, played by David Johnson. As usual, Weyland-Yutani is an evil bastard of a company, and despite Rain having finished her contract, they renew it without her permission and tell her she's not allowed to leave. Faced with the reality that she'll be likely working on this dustball of a planet until she literally dies, she decides to follow up with an offer from her ex-boyfriend, played by Archie Rennox. He and his friends explain that an abandoned company research station is about to drift into an asteroid belt and will be torn apart. But with Andy, who can give them access, they can steal the cryo-sleep pods that will let the group survive the trip to another planet and build an actual life rather than just working for this company forever. So, despite her misgivings, Rain agrees and helps the group gain access to the station. However, due to some complications, they get caught up in the fact that of course this station was researching the alien, now somebody's been facehug, and an alien plot starts. So I left this first section intentionally vague. There's more going on, but I'm trying to spoil as little as possible. If I wanted to, I could probably just explain that it has good actors, some awesome effects, the writing is good, and all that stuff. However, that's not good enough to make a good Alien movie on its own. There are actually 3 things that stand above this to make this a really good movie, not just a good movie that happens to be an Alien movie. And it makes me think about, what does this movie do to succeed where the other movies failed? Particularly things like Alien 3 or Prometheus. After thinking it over, I believe it boils down to 3 main points. First, the plot actually makes sense. So many Alien movies are stupid because the motivations of the characters are just illogical. Weyland-Yutani in particular, despite being particular as a greedy corporation, keeps chasing the xenomorph despite how many times it wipes out entire facilities, and that has to be expensive. Prometheus tried the whole immortality cure thing, but the founder died, so they still can't be chasing that angle, and it all just got kind of stupid as the movies went on. Romulus gives characters clear emotional and rational reasons for nearly all their decisions. In fact, the conflict between these emotional decisions versus the rational choice becomes a major thematic conflict for the main characters, especially the android Andy. Even in the scene where somebody is saved from a facehugger, but has clearly been playing with the xenomorph and they bring him on the ship anyway, it's a decision born of their own emotional biases that are clearly set up beforehand. Secondly, the movie uses practical effects and uses what CGI it does have incredibly well. It literally shows a dead xenomorph hanging from some rafters near the start, but the living ones later on keep to the shadows, making them creepy and menacing. And even when they are a bit more visible, it's in a sort of Alien 2 action style. Actually, Romulus almost functions as a mix of Alien 1 and 2. The station is divided into 2 parts. When the movie starts off with that claustrophobic mood from the first movie. As the characters make their way into the second half of the station, it gains a bit more of an action horror feel like Alien 2, before finally going back to that claustrophobic horror at the escape near the end. The result is that a movie like this feels almost like a culmination of the whole Alien franchise. And despite referencing other movies, it doesn't bring back any characters, and that's the other final thing it does right. This movie has its own identity, it has its own plot, and while the first Alien movie set the events in motion, it's not about those characters, aside from Weyland-Yutani as a corporation. It has its own characters going through their own struggles in this world with a plot that doesn't really have anything to do with the previous Alien movies. That was a big problem with the first set of Alien movies, where they kept focusing on Ripley, who was an awesome character, but they just overused her. However, it's still important to mention, you can have a bunch of cool ideas and scenes, but you still have to make a good movie out of them. Unlike Prometheus, for example, Alien Romulus is an excellent movie. The cast is giving their all, especially the people who play Rain and Andy. The scenes are tense and dangerous as the characters flee from the monsters in the shadow. The writing makes the story easy to understand, even if you haven't seen any of the other Alien movies, while still rewarding longtime fans with references and callbacks and background details. But they don't distract from the story overall. In conclusion, I give this an easy 9 out of 10. It's not a perfect movie, but it doesn't need to be. It just needs to be better than Prometheus and all the other garbage. Moving on from there, we have the announcements. I'm going to make these real quick. If you guys like this, there's a Terminator animated series that also brings some life back to that franchise, so check it out. I'm going to be streaming on Tuesday and Thursdays for the rest of October. It's going to be Tuesday's going to be Black Myth Wukong. Thursday's going to be some Halloween spooky stuff. I'm also going to be doing a book review next, Bringer of Dust by J.M. Miro. Finally, we have the out card. There's a subscribe orb. Click on it, go to my channel, subscribe, and there is a video YouTube recommends. And I will see you all next time. Bye!